I think we got a ways to go before the next halving, and I'm really just focused on that as my between a 12-year cycle and a halving.
The halving sounds like a scary movie, man. What's that movie where you run through the woods, man?
The Shining? No.
Blair Witch Project, bro.
I don't know. The woods.
Maybe
Chainsaw Massacre.
Sounds like one of them scary movies, man. The halving.
But no, the halving. Hey, that means a lot of money's coming in your pocket when the halving's here.
You stole my heart of gold after my silver soul. Can you dig any deeper now?
Everybody, welcome back to Well Rockin' Crypto. It's your boys Moonwalk, Moose. Man, let's start around the room, man. How y'all boys feeling today? Moose, you go first, man. Talk to me, man. How you feeling today, baby?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good today, man. No complaints, man.
Right. We're in a little choppy consolidation area right now for Bitcoin and for the market in general, but a little bit more positive than negative. So let's go to Moon, man. Moon, how you feeling?
Man, feeling good. Feeling great, man. How about you?
Man, I'm hanging in there. In the pipe, 5x5, right? Ain't that what they saying now? Anyway, listen, man. Look, welcome back to Well Rockin' Crypto. It's your boy Captain leading the way, at least on this communication here, to let y'all know what's new, what's impactful, and what you need to keep an eye out on in this world of crypto. Not just this world of crypto, but the world of finance and everything. And we want to start with this, man. Peter Schiff, if nobody knows, he's an entrepreneur, pretty much an economist, all right, has been riding the markets for years and has been a big gold catalyst, okay? Has been big behind the gold asset and putting your money behind gold. We want to let you guys hear this clip right here of his financial, I guess what he feels is the financial prediction, what he feels the outcome is going to be for this upcoming season or next seasons to come. Check this out.
We are nowhere near done with this inflation problem. It is going to be here for years and years and years, probably the remainder of this decade, and probably then some. And, so just looking at one-off month where, we didn't get a big rise and having this premature victory dance, I think is an insult to the American public.
Okay, let's come back on that. You think that inflation is not done rising? It's going to go above 9.1%. Peter, I just want to point out the fact that in no prior recession over the last 70 years has inflation risen during a recession. This time's going to be different.
Yes, well, as they keep telling us, this is a very unique recession. In fact, most people don't even want to admit that we have one.
Okay.
But, look at the recessions of the 1970s. You had rising prices there, during stagflation, and that's what my forecast is. Remember, last year, I was predicting the U.S. economy would be in recession in the first half of 2022, and very few people had that right. But I also predicted that inflation wasn't transitory, that it would get stronger as the economy got weaker, and that is exactly what happened. Now, the reason that I believe that inflation is going to kick into a higher gear as this recession that we are in gets worse is because I believe Powell is going to pivot ultimately, and he is going to give up his fight against inflation in order to fight a different foe, and that is going to be a recession and rising unemployment and potentially a financial crisis.
All right, perfect. Now, you guys hear that, man, and let's just start with Moon, because Moon, I know this was a good trigger for you. All right, and what do you feel about what Peter Schiff has said here, and what do you think with his thoughts into the future? Are you feeling like you're hand in hand with what he's saying?
Yeah, right. I'm right there with him. I think this man is pretty accurate in his prediction of the economy will go down. There's nothing really keeping it up other than us trying to artificially keep it up. So we're talking about infusing more money into the economy, into an inflationary economy. He said we're going to have to make a choice, or they're going to have to make a choice, because they're trying not to say it's a recession, but at the same time, they're trying to stop a recession from happening. It's a weird situation we're in. They're calling this a special. This is like a special recession. They're like it's a unique recession. Okay, it's a unique recession, right? So we have to try to. What are we going to do? Are we going to battle inflation, or are we going to stop this recession? if we're going to stop the recession, we're going to have to put more money in. But what's that going to do? It's going to inflate the price of everything that we already have going on. So I think, I think he's right on the money, man.
Yeah, that's good assessment. Moose, how do you feel about Peter Schiff's assessment?
I think Peter Schiff's assessment, man, I think he's spitting some truth. I think he might be on the extreme side. I'm not on the extreme side, man. A lot of these analyst guys like Peter like to make these big outlandish loud statements. I think we're kind of currently going through the muddy water as we speak, and there may be a little more downside. I don't think it's jumping out of the windows, Great Depression type stuff. I don't think it's that.
Okay. Now, my little 2 cents on this, okay, man, we in some weird times. I mean, you can call it unique all day long, and you call it a recession. I mean, it does. A lot of it fits the bill for a recession, but it is very unique with the economy booming the way it is. I would say that, man, I think the worst has either already presented itself or will be up next to come. Okay. And I say that I relate a lot to the Bitcoin price. So we saw the horrible $17,000 Bitcoin price, right? People got scared. Fear was at an all-time high. I think we could see that again, but I don't think it's going much lower. I hope everybody kind of picked up and got a little dollar cost average in, but I don't think it's going. Note on, how this has happened in the 70s, and what has taken place after it happened, right? So something to keep a lookout for and keep an eye on. I personally kind of lean more towards Moose and say, man, I don't think it's going to be, I think a soft landing is just about a very unique way the Feds would hold it, as opposed to the traditional way of a crash. I think this soft landing is actually possible, but it is going to warrant more money printing, to Moon's point, man. So all that being said,
so that's the question I have. So soft landing is for the next year, or are we saying the next 5 years? Because there's no such thing as a soft landing. We have to go, it's cyclical. We have to go into a recession at some point in time in this market. If you look throughout the history, it's always been a time of a recessionary period, and then we had a time where we have a boom. So we've been we've been stopping a recession for years on years on years.
It has been like a decade of a bull market, to your point. It has been a good decade of a bull market.
So what is the soft landing y'all are thinking?
Well, man, I would say, man, the soft landing, a lot of people refer to the real most recent recession, skip the COVID outlier. Man, most people are like the 2008, and I'm going to be honest, man, when you go back and look at the charts and the numbers and the data, 2008 was a hard, fast landing, but a quick recovery. So from 2008 to really 2010-ish, man, all you saw was a steady uptrend. Now going from, I would say, 2007 down into 2008, it was a hard crash, but I think maybe soft crash isn't the right word, but I think it'll be a cat-like bounce recovery.
I'm glad you brought that up, because the thing is, we've been in a bubble since that 2010.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are suggesting that this is going to be so disastrous because of the size of the bubble we created since 2008.
Because 2010 was artificial. We didn't allow it to recover on its own. So that's the thing I'm saying we keep on doing, and they're talking about doing that now to make it a soft landing. We're going to artificially try to make it a soft landing. So at some point in time, we don't have any more beams to prop it up. We're going to run out of material.
Well, think about this too. You get the government involved, and when we got ourselves off the gold standard, what happened? Right? Printed money. Yeah. Money was never really valued in accordance to the gold standard. You couldn't trade in your 20 for a quarter of an ounce of gold.
That's an ongoing problem too.
It's been an ongoing problem. And I guess to Moose's point, it seems like that had been the solution before. It may not be the viable solution now, but it definitely may serve as one. Is, hey, man, turn that money printer back on. Let's figure this out along the way. Kind of like the Ethereum approach. Let's figure it along the way.
And look, dig this. If they turn the printer on, we talk about Bitcoin and, it's decentralized, and it has these fast transaction speeds, but also that may be the natural catalyst to raise it to those insane prices you hear. $100,000 Bitcoin, $200,000 Bitcoin.
Oh, no doubt.
Maybe it is the great inflation hedge that eventually balances New World Order, man. I don't know,
I would tell you right now, for us holding crypto, if they turn that money printer back on, we're going to be great. And we're going to know we're just going to take that money out because it's going to crash hard. And then you could buy up everything once again. But that's the thing. Are they going to do that? Are they about to turn it back on? It's only going to benefit a small amount of people that have invested, people that have assets. So when it's inflationary, assets are the key to have. When it's deflationary, it's best to have liquid, best to have cash. So we're holding a lot of assets right now. So if that is the case, we'll be well off.
I think there's a big misconception with Bitcoin being a hedge against inflation. It's more so in line with inflation, right? So Bitcoin price kind of moves when the money printer turns on. We've seen that happen in 2018.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
2020, 2017. We've seen that happen, and the prices move exponentially. There's also a few things real quick to make it short before I move on to the next topic. But there's also a few things that stand in not to be beaten, like that 12-year chart for Bitcoin right now. I mean, we're at the lowest it's ever been in the history of crypto. Okay, we're at the lowest point it's ever been on its 11-year trend. So there's a good fact to consider. And then the last one is we've got some huge players entering the game right now. The question is it good or bad for crypto? But Blackrock, right? They are a huge financial institution that oversees like trillions of dollars worth of assets. They're now getting into the crypto space and with Coinbase. And what does that mean for crypto? Is that good or bad? And it kind of segues perfectly to what is this? What is this? It kind of segues perfectly to, with what's happening. If we're at a low of all lows, why is BlackRock getting in when we're at that volatile range of our undecisiveness? Like, what do you all think of that, man? Good or bad for crypto? BlackRock in?
Personally, I think it's bad for crypto. But let's say it like this. If you're looking for somebody to come pump your bags up real quick, I think in the long run, in the short run, it's good for crypto, right? It's going to be a fusion of cash coming in. More institutions will follow BlackRock because they're like, oh, this is a big legitimate company. And why we're about to miss out. There's something that we don't see. So I see other people following suit and putting money into crypto. But if you were to ask me on a long term, I think it's horrible for the integrity of crypto. The integrity of crypto was supposed to be about decentralization. So you have to pick your poison. Do you want to get your bags, to the moon really quickly and the integrity of crypto is taken away? Or would you like to go the slow, more methodical approach, kind of like a Cardano, a turtle? I hate calling it a turtle, but you know what I mean? Like, a slower process. But it really is pumped up by use case, not speculation, not, this corporation's coming in, so I need to jump in. Because those cause the huge bubbles and those cause the huge crashes. And we're saying we want the space to be somewhere that's seen as safe. If we keep on having infusions of cash coming in real quickly and everybody taking it off the top and it's dumping it again, I don't see how it's ever going to get there.
I think we need to stop real quick and pause for just a minute to round of applause for how well said that was by man Moon. That was very well said. Look, the man is different when he's got food in his belly and a good night's rest. I mean, we're talking about
gotta feed the beast, baby. Feed the beast.
We're talking night and day difference in that response that we just heard here on exactly why you think that way. And I have to say that was a very well spoken response. Let me just steal this 2 cents, my 2 seconds of fame real quick. To the point that you just made, I think, man, on the note of is BlackRock good for crypto? I think anything is good for crypto that exposes more people to the space. Okay. Whether BlackRock, whether the US government, whether, I think to a degree, I think it's good for the space. It gives people exposure, but the integrity, what you said right there, Moan, knocked it out of the park. The integrity of them getting in the space is what we are all concerned of. When is this regulation going to come? Is BlackRock going to help finalize what regulation looks like in the crypto space? We don't know. It's very likely, being that they're getting in relatively earlier than any other financial institution. So it's possible, but we got to really just take heed. But let me not go too far. Moose, what's your thoughts?
No, man. I think you and Moon both made some good points, man. Like, at the end of the day, I'm kind of on the side of, I think BlackRock, initially just looking at it, it looks like a good thing that they're getting involved with crypto. They've already been involved in crypto, but the significant amount of money that they just kind of threw behind it with Coinbase and stuff. But Moon brings up a good point. Something that looks too good to be true could be too good to be true, man. You never know that. You have to ask yourself, what do they know that we don't know? Crypto is a powerful tool. And I feel like, man, maybe there's something there. Maybe they're just strictly looking at it as it's a monetary opportunity. And I don't think you can fault anybody for that. That's why the world is the way it is. You just have most people have the mindset of, if I have the most money, the most power, I'll buy it and do what I want with it and try to capitalize off of it. And it could be a good or a bad thing, man.
I think that's the concern too, man, is man, I'm the big money on the block. Respect my authority, and next thing you know, their insight may be, hey, we know who, it's publicly known that BlackRock has strategically put people on their roster that have been influential with the government.
Yeah, and no doubt, no cap. But and I guess what I kind of equate it to, man, I only know, I can just look at it from a business sense. It's no different than maybe when Delta merged, like back in the 90s. Like Delta was a strong airline, and they merged. They basically bought out a little bit of everybody. And now, when you go to fly, 95% of people, they have the desire to fly Delta. It doesn't mean that their money can afford it, but that's kind of known as the premium airline, so to speak. And I just use Delta as an example, but maybe BlackRock, maybe it's that type of deal. I don't know, man.
Moose, I think it's like this. I think it's, of course, money. Of course, follow the money. It's always told in politics. That's the oldest saying. Just follow the money. Next, power. Yeah. Okay, and I'll relate this to Facebook. Of course, they wanted to make money, but what was even more important than money was getting our information. Facebook has all our information. So now all the politicians are beholden to them. Every election season comes, they got to rub Mark Zuckerberg's back. Tit for tat. You do this for me, I do that for you. Now imagine that with BlackRock. Their end game, I think, is to know where your money is, how much money you got, and it's always going to be on their ledger, because they are going to be the controllers of crypto in America. I think that's where it's going. So
but it's still got to be on a blockchain, though, man. I mean, that's
what I mean. That's what I mean by ledger.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the good thing, though. At the end of the day, I mean, if crypto is going to work, decentralized or not, man, that open public ledger that the world can see.
I didn't say it's going to be public. I don't think it's going to be public. I think BlackRock, that's what I mean by centralized. I think BlackRock will have majority of the information on their servers or wherever, however they're going to implement this. I think they're going to have all that. And then, hey, they're going to tell politicians and government officials, whoever wants information, you got to rub my back. I rub your back. I got plenty of money, but I also have influence and I have information that you want. I think it's going to be similar to how Facebook is. And everybody hates Facebook.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could be. But again, we are speculating off of some pretty decent factual evidence here. I mean, it's not like we're pulling this stuff out of thin air. We know that most of the regulation and what that can come over in crypto, it doesn't necessarily benefit the economy, like just the normal everyday person. It doesn't necessarily.
It'll benefit what they want.
It'll benefit the conglomerate the same way the traditional financial system does. Right. Okay, but that's the fears that we see walking into BlackRock. And I mean, it has me torn, mainly because at this time when we're at the lowest point in an 11-year cycle, right? In a 12-year cycle for Bitcoin, you're now getting their lowest point in this cycle.
In right on time. Right?
They're getting in at this time when everybody is expecting the price to go down that leg, right? And look, when we got into the space in January 21, we got into the space, we saw that had been a common theme is, man, everybody's trying to grab the bottom or call the top. And it was a constant thing. In 2017, how many people got left behind waiting for that Bitcoin price to drop? Same thing in 2020. People have waited for that price to drop. And that's what's happening right now. People are thinking, man, we're going down to 10, 9K. But it's about to miss a lot of people and their opportunity. But the question is, I mean, what do y'all think is going to go? I mean, from this point up, we've made a tremendous move since that 17K price. I mean, Ethereum has doubled, but why is that happening? Like, what do y'all feel is the reason for the pump? I mean, the biggest catalyst, ETH 2.0, right? Moon, why don't you walk us through? What do you think the big catalysts are?
I think well, I'm not going to say there is none. I think what you just said is the merger, the upgrade. Everybody's excited. They're really excited. It might be classic, buy the rumor, sell the news type of situation. Who knows when the upgrade is finally here? It might not be as exciting as everybody thought it was, and they'll just sell again and we'll come back right down. Or it could be like I just did a video today about Coinbase losing $1.1 billion this quarter. Okay, that's a lot, right? And I think it's no coincidence that BlackRock is making a partnership, air quotes, partnership with them. But it might be really a hostile takeover. But, for presentation purposes, you just going to say it's a partnership, right? Because you're shedding money, and BlackRock has plenty of money. They got 21 times the amount of the crypto market money, right?
Well, so they have assets that equate 21 times.
Hey, if you have the assets, then you're a millionaire, right?
They oversee it. Let's make it clear. They're not the ones who just dictate.
Okay. You say they don't have access to all of it, but they still have. But I'm sure they have more money than the crypto market.
They're responsible for more money than the crypto market is worth. That's probably a fair statement.
But say they have at least $2 billion as a company themselves. If they're managing 21 billion worth, I think
we're talking trillions when it comes to them.
Oh, they got trillions. Oh, my bad. That's what I meant. Yeah, 21 trillion. Sorry.
Yeah. T.
But yeah, my bad. I just lost my train of thought.
You were talking about the merge, the merge with being the catalyst.
Yeah. So I think BlackRock taking over Coinbase. They might be infusing money into crypto because you got to have, for exchanges to make money, you got to have people saying, hey, I can make money. So we got to make this price pump because it was going down for months, right? So everybody was just leaving exchanges. So I think BlackRock has a hand in that, just for business purposes.
Well, I would agree, man. That has a lot to do with it, I think. And I go back to there's a couple things I want to say real quick, man. This would be like the first ETH merge that actually happened on time, or the first ETH upgrade that actually happened
while we was here.
While we were even before then. Like the problem has been, man, ETH has never committed to falling through on the date that they're going to come through. Now we got
that's what you're saying.
There's phases.
It's always delayed, right?
Always delayed, right? There's phases of this. We got the merge, the verge, the surge, the purge, and the splurge. All right, I'm not making this stuff up. You got 5 different phases of this upgrade. Okay,
Metallic made this up. That's funny, man. That sounds funny.
No, this isn't and I think
we're about to splurge. When
I think when people realize, man, this is one of 5 phases, that price will react in a way where it's going to be in line with where it's at with the phases of what it's going to do. I mean, right now it's still buy the rumor, sell the news, because nothing has manifested yet. And when they realize the merge isn't going to make the transactions any faster, it's not making any, like, this phase of it doesn't impact any of the things that they're saying will be the end verdict after Ethereum's done with the upgrade.
You think we're going to see a 20,000 ETH?
Without question, there's going to be a 20,000 ETH. It's just a matter of when is that going to happen, I think. I think we're going to see a $10,000 ETH by the next bull cycle. But a $20,000 ETH, I think we just got to wait to see what happens and what these if all of these merges in the cycle finish and continue on, what does that look like? So I think we got, but I also think, man, that 11-year, 12-year chart for Bitcoin is a big catalyst in that price. I mean, guys, it's undeniable. You look at it, I'll text it again, but you look at it and we're below that where we've been above for 11 years, that trend line. We are below it. And we've only wicked below it just very, very quickly. And as you see now, we're kind of pumping above it. And that flippening price, ETH is moving faster than Bitcoin right now, but it's because everybody knows that the merge is the hot news of crypto. So that's what's getting the attention. So personally, that's what I think the pump was for. Moose, what do you think, man?
Man, I'm gonna be honest, man. I think the pump was just a reaction to some of the Fed news you heard in the typical stock market, man. Nothing more, nothing less. I think you will see some one-off movement with ETH the closer you get to the merge. Absolutely. Like I can see ETH hitting before the merge is here and gone. I can see it easily hitting $2,500 easily. And that's just a short blip. I don't think it'll hold $2,500 for the remainder of the year. But I just think overall it's just a reaction to what you're seeing in the stock market, man. People, I walked into work, man, and I had one of these young guys, man. He doesn't know anything about the stock market, and he told me, he said, "Man, the stock market's been roaring." And I was thinking, like, yeah, only the past few days, kid. So
that means it's about to dump. It's about to dump.
Yeah, well, but that just lets you know, like this, like the market has been hot. The sentiment from even just regular people is like, hey, we're doing okay. And as long as that's the sentiment, man, you'll see crypto tick up, tick up, tick up.
Moose, you're right, man. I'm starting to see those YouTube videos start popping up, talking about 25Xs, 100X, buy this coin, meme coins popping back up. I'm like, oh.
And look, man,
just again, that quick, they forget.
Yeah, it's amnesia, man, and it's easy to forget when it's a physical feeling that comes over you when prices are moving, and you have that position in.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, it's euphoria, man. I think when you get a notification on your phone that says SHIB went up 40% in the past 20 hours. Man, you're gonna buy some SHIB, man. It's unfortunate, but you will.
Even if it's $10, you're gonna expose yourself to it, and you're gonna try to make sure you're not missing out.
And Cap did a video on that. Cap did a video just on that. Do the opposite of what you're feeling. You might, if you're an inexperienced trader, do the opposite of what you're feeling you would do, and you will make a killing.
Genuinely. And right now, look, man, everybody is saying we're going down another leg. And look, we could, but from where? Are we going to make it up to $30,000 Bitcoin price?
I see more people saying it's pumping up. I don't know. I'm not seeing people saying it's dumping. I just see all the videos saying,
there's no catalyst in the way to make it dump now between now and I think you got a Fed meeting coming up, man, but there's no real catalyst. We don't report on the news in Russia anymore because they kind of banned that. There's no catalyst to say, hey, stock market, crypto tank. I don't see it, man.
You're right about the Feds, too, because they're delaying doing rate hikes. So that's another reason why this is pumped. You're right on that.
Yeah, I mean, they've completely delayed, they removed a meeting off the calendar. So that got people really bullish because the inflation index numbers come down like a couple of percentages of a point. It wasn't even a full point.
Maybe Peter Schiff is right. Maybe they're deciding to stop recession instead of inflation.
Could be, because if their choice to do so is going to continue to pump the market with money, printed money that has no value, that people are just going to continue to raise the cost of goods, we might find ourselves in the same situation. But I think we got a ways to go before the next halving. And I'm really just focused on that as my, like, between a 12-year cycle and a halving.
The halving sounds like a scary movie, man. What's that movie where you run through the woods, man?
The Shining? No.
Probably Blair Witch Project, bro.
I don't know. The Woods.
Maybe
Chainsaw Massacre?
Man. Sounds like one of them scary movies, man.
But no, the halving, hey, that means a lot of money's coming in your pocket when the halving's here.
These are the things that I'm going off of, man. Like an 11-year cycle, 12-year cycle in that. And trying to make sense of how, like, I'm right now, I'm more on the charts than anything else. And I'm like, dude, this ain't telling me we got another leg down, but we've been telling you for the past several months, now's the time to start accumulating and buying ever since Bitcoin hit that 17K price. So all that being said, guys, we want to keep y'all in the know. We want y'all feedback too, man. Let us know how you feeling out there in this crypto market, in the economy in general, man, and keep yourselves braced for impact or a roller coaster ride like you've never believed or never seen, man. So all that being said, man, we appreciate y'all listening. Whale Rockets, my man Moose, Moonwalk, your boy Captain here.
Be out of here.
Out to the next one.
Peace, y'all.
You